that, we'll move on to number 3. Near, what do you have for
Um, so I watched Undead Unluck,
us?
which
Okay.
is a manga original, um, shonen. It is a David Productions main production. Um, and uh, the basic premise is pretty simple. You have the main character, Izumo Fuko, who's been sort of cursed with this strange power, to where anybody she touches basically gets cursed with such bad luck that they die shortly thereafter. Um, and story starts with her essentially about to jump off a bridge, and then she meets um, our other main character, and an unnamed uh, man who is incapable of dying, and he calls himself Undead. Um, and then, through a series of circumstances, they sort of team up, um, and they tackle this sort of secret underground organization that's sort of um, hunting down these other people with powers similar to theirs. I think they call them like negators or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because all these powers are like, you know, un something, right? Um,
Mm.
like Fuku's power is unluck. Um, the undead guy's power is undead, right? Like he can't die. Um, one of the villains that they fight, her power is like unchanging. Um, so there's one that's like untouchable, one that's like um like unmissable or something. Okay, but yeah, they're all like all the powers are like named like unblank.
Mm.
Um, and then sort of the general general premise aside, this is largely just a um you know bad guy of the week shonen. Um, but it's got really charming characters. And a lot of the battles are pretty interesting because it's not really just it's kind of sort of set up in a way to where it's like almost like a JoJo battle where half of the half the battle is sort of like figuring out what the other person's power actually is, um,
Okay.
and then sort of figuring out how to counteract that, um,
What's
with
the Can I ask real quick, what's the balance between the monster of the day and there is like foreshadowing and like a larger overarching plot going on, right?
yeah, definitely.
So what's the balance between those two?
So, like at the very start, it's really just battles, right? Um,
Okay.
and then sort of as
And
they,
character introductions as
yeah,
obvious.
yeah, of
Okay.
course. And then as they sort of uncover a bit more here and there, they actually end up, um, they actually end up joining the secret organization with the attempts to um either take it down or change it from within, and then they uncover that you know this sort of secret organization is kind of doing this secret battle for a quote unquote greater good cause, and it's not as simple as just beating all the bad guys. It's sort of a matter of you know there is a like greater work, or a greater force at play that they sort of have to work around, and they kind of have to work both with and against the bad guys to, you know, kind of get what they want, right?
Mm.
Um, it's really interesting, um, because the sort of, I guess, character motivations are a little bit, um, I guess, split up, right? Because the main girl, Fuko is sort of the one that wants to take down the organization and change it from within or whatever. Um, but then Andy, the undead guy, he just wants to die, right? Like that's all. That's like his main goal is to die because he's been alive for a super long time. Um, and his power essentially is like he's incapable of dying, right?
Mhm.
Um, but like Andy's hope is that with Fuko's power of like just you know imparting like such bad luck that people die, that if he gets like sort of close enough to her, um because the way they sort of establish her power is that like the more um I guess intimate the contact is, uh the more like bad luck it imparts, right? um
Mhm.
like the first episode, she gives him like a kiss on the cheek, and like a meteor comes down from space and fucking hits him. um so it's pretty outlandish. All the characters
How much
are
of that is sort of how much of this series is the I'm guessing it's like a central kind of like not thread element of the series, but it is like the slapstick comedy and like the kind of outlandish like supernatural things that happen based upon, the bad luck, right? Essentially is what
um
I'm guessing.
I mean, it's pretty comedic just outside of that. Like
Okay.
Andy is voiced by Nakamura Yuichi, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
he's sort of doing this like very, machismo, bravado kind of voice. And Andy as a character is like he's almost always naked, um, because he's constantly getting like limbs and stuff cut off.
Right.
He's always smiling, like he's never not smiling.
Who's he
Um,
voiced by? Do you know?
Nakamura Yuichi.
Oh, okay. I bet. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so he's pretty much always yelling, he's always smiling, he's always naked. Um, his ultimate goal is to, have like the most sort of intimate moment with Fuko. And so his idea, like his goal is to basically just protect her um until she basically falls in love with him, right?
Mm,
But he's such a like loud, um like, you know, sort of arrogant dude that it's just like, you know, it's a very kind of like slapstick kind of thing where like, she's always yelling at him and he's always kind of just like laughing it off and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Can I ask a
it's
side
it's a pretty
question?
comedic series.
Just real quick. Is does Nakamura Yuichi do a good? I don't want to say it like in like a negative way, but if does he do a good job of doing voicing the character because he has a much deeper voice now, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like he's not able to use his like say like younger Hazama voice or like his like Oreimo kind of
Yeah, I mean
voice. You know what I mean?
he
Now?
he is doing a much more explicitly deeper voice
Okay.
with this. Like
Oh,
he
because
it's
that like fits the
Yeah, like the
persona.
sort of machismo, right?
Okay.
So it's a really good pick. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest. I think he genuinely carries this series. Like,
Oh,
like,
okay.
like his
Nice.
performance is really good in this.
Mhm.
Um, and he sort of carries a lot of the comedy. Um, and like even as a character that's like constantly just like it's a very non-serious character. He doesn't take things very seriously at all. He's sort of this character that's lived for, they don't really say how long, but he's been alive for a really long time. Um, and he sort of has, you know, kind of just lets things sort of roll over him. Um, but when there are serious moments, he still does a very good job at, sort of bringing that like machismo bravado vibe down, to him being a bit more of a like somber tone. It's a really good performance, I think. And then
Mhm.
the main girl, Fuko, is voiced by Moe Kahara. I think she's pretty much a newcomer. I
Mhm.
think her
I feel
her
like I've
like
heard her name somewhere, but
I think
yeah,
her
she's
first main role was in Shoke
mhm.
Shoujo, which came back was in like 2022. Um, and then other than that, she's was in like what is this? Um, she was in that like Kunoichi anime, like
Oh,
the like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
village
yeah.
of ninja girls or whatever.
Yeah, 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 that
Um,
learned about love or whatever it
yeah,
was, right? Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, other than that, she really has not been in very much. Um, so she does a pretty good job. I feel like the character of Fuko doesn't really give her that much to work with. She's kind of just constantly like screaming and crying and shouting.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
she's a bit of a generic character. All the other characters are again pretty charming. Um, the villains are like a lot of the returning villains are pretty good. There's this sort of martial artist dude that's just constantly randomly like blurting out fucking Chinese phrases. Um, and he's quite a himbo as well. He's pretty funny. One of the villains,
When you say like
um,
returning villains, like do they take up more of like a Team Rocket kind of role, or like how are they structured, or how they kind of
um,
portrayed in the series
so the martial artist dude, he is sort of treated as like he kind of just pops up every now and then.
and
Um,
gets blown away? Yeah.
yeah, like they haven't really like beaten him because they haven't figured out his actual power yet.
Mm.
Because his power seems to be like they don't know how it works, but he's essentially seems to be able to um like force your body to react in a certain way. Um, and the way they like explain it is like um the one time Andy fights him, he's like he describes it as he's like constantly leaving an opening.
Hmm.
And then when your body goes to like exploit that opening, your body does the opposite and it like actually attacks the side that he's defending. Um,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, so it's sort of interesting. And then
Hmm.
one of the other villains that they fought, um, Gina, which is like the Unchanging girl, is voiced by Yuki Aoi. She does a very good job. She's like this sort of like she's kind of doing like a Lollibaba role, um, where she's like, she's like an old lady. She's like 60 years old or some shit.
No.
Um, but she's doing this sort of like JK,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
like Genki
lolly
girl kind
baba,
of
yeah,
thing.
like a
Yeah,
noja lolly kind of stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then you have like Kugumi Irie doing this like, um, she's like
Kudere.
voicing this like a giant robot thing.
Oh, nice.
Um, and she's literally doing like the
The
the fake
Alphonse L, right?
fake Grand
Yeah.
Order like Nobu voice.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah.
I thought she would pull out the fucking Full Metal Alchemist voice
No,
there.
no. Yeah, it's like the Nobu voice. It's quite
Okay,
good.
okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, all the characters are so far are really really charming. Um,
Mhm.
it's a pretty like tongue-in-cheek series. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like there's not a lot to say about it. It's
How
a
do you?
pretty standard shonen series, right?
Yeah. It
So
seems like a pretty good straight adaptation, but obviously it kind of it seems to embody kind of part of why we watch anime in the first place with with David Productions, right? Where it's like you have it kind of upscaled, or like it's a higher quality
yeah.
kind of version
Um,
of like what you
as
would
for
find in
yeah,
anime.
as for audio visuals, I mean, like I said, the voice cast is just really really knocking it out of the park here, I'd say.
Hmm.
Um, and then the visuals are really really good. A lot
Yeah,
of the action scenes are just really really well animated. Um,
yeah. Again, David Productions, so
yeah,
it's like
like they're definitely putting their A
back
game in
into
here.
yeah.
The soundtrack is probably not quite as memorable. The
Hmm.
OP is actually really nice. I like the OP a lot.
What is it?
Uh, it's 01 by ZU Vachi. I don't know. It
Uh,
almost sounds like um, a
I need to check that out.
Mazarashi track. Uh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's by Queen Bee. Okay, 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 okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, but it's got a bit more of like a somber, like muted tone to it, which is
Hmm.
a sort of interesting um, dynamic to like the actual series. Um,
Okay.
I'm sure it's foreshadowing something, but I don't um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say about this. I think it's just an overall good show. If you like shonen, this is definitely something to check out. If you like Nakamura Yuichi, this is definitely something to check out. Again, I
Yeah,
think
I
he
think this
really
is just like a kind of like a cluster of things that are just good, and it's not like one of those situations where it's like too many cooks are spoiling the too many cooks in the kitchen. It's just like a bunch of good things that are all kind of
yeah,
coming together
yeah,
and helping you
it's
out.
not like a super ambitious thing, but
Yeah,
it is creative, it is charming,
yeah,
um, it's very likable.
yeah.
There's really nothing to nitpick,
Dislike about it.
I'd say, about
Yeah.
it. I think
Mhm.
it's just overall good. I
All right.
definitely recommend it. Um,
What Mal rating would you give it?
I'd probably say somewhere between 7.5 and an 8. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Near. That was Undead Unluck by Dave Productions. And yeah, if you want to see some of the crazy kind of outlandish supernatural action that is again done by the obviously very solid team over at David Productions, starring uh, Nakamura Yuichi leading a bunch of veteran voice actors and doing a very good job at it as well. If you want to kind of see all that action taking place, please do check out Undead Unluck.